duality, infinite computations of what's possible once you can divide a whole into parts, once you can count. So the big thing is that there's lots of things which humans have never figured out so far. Civilized humans have never figured out so far. And we call those things myths because they predate our so-called medieval enlightenment.
Generations past, who held fast to heritage.
Before the mind got to the point of deducing and reducing in an artificial way, and managing empires in artificial ways, and shifting this village, wiping it out, putting the people in a town, training those people how to live in a civilized way, making them fit in, all that kind of stuff. I keep trying to find the source of evil, and if there was a source of evil, it keeps coming back. It would be God, mind, light, which brought the evil into the world. Otherwise, the concept of a God that created creation makes no sense. If something other than God could create so-called evil. So yeah, my abstract artificial thinking here,
as a concept, there's only one mind.
Somehow is figuring things out for itself.
Loads of separate minds inside of separate bodies. There's one mind, and inside mind
for ourselves,
projected
once
the
I
idea
share
that there could be separate bodies. That each of those separate bodies was like a separate perspective.
In a line right with God's will, which is an end.
To me, the word for it is that the artificial intelligence that we've created on our screens, in our world, is a mirror. When we look in the mirror, we can see ourselves. Though we are inverted. But our mind is so smart, it says that convert the inversion and make it look like it's
village, you can look at a map and figure out
the cameras on our gadgets.
And all the rest and realise.
Rising tide of revelation.
Yeah, oneness is what we really need to figure out, guys.
Now, what are we evolving
That's only
towards?
lately that we're really starting to realise, well, we better figure out global
The
oneness.
big problem that humans have
really fast,
these days, certainly, is the fear.
So, there's only one mind.
Fear of dying is one thing.
And
really, it's all just the fear of the unknown.
It's a divisive
Once I
ego.
know what it is and how it works, I'm less scared of it.
That ego runs the operating system.
Is that the beginning of civilization and why there is an evolutionary need to invent civilization? Evolutionary blueprint that would invent civilization.
Us living in this world so that
my sole imagination of incarnation. I am
With
creation.
instinct, it's a lot of reacting to fear
Incubations dreamed
in order to survive in the body.
Time. That's right, yeah. But is there a time outside time?
Yes, yes, yes.
But is there a time outside time? For example, in space. Alex Toby is an astronaut on the International Space Station.
We're actually using GMT time, so the current time now is actually 2:19.
It's like she's here in the room with us.
Intro. Have you got it?
Yeah, I do.
Red lights are recording, ladies and gentlemen. The fairy folk are our ancestors. The fairy folk never died
sacred. Our stories speak of the stories we lived. Our stories are alive as we still live. Our stories are alive in our imaginations. We still live. Our imaginations are as free as our stories. Our stories tell of the coming of mortal man to the land of eternal youth. Tirnanog. Our land was heaven on earth, and we lived as angels in heaven. We wrote no history of war and conquest. We sculpted landscapes to mirror the stars. We brought heaven to earth in sacred union, for our wisdom brought all rest in peace. We still live. Tribes of mortal men came to our shores in waves and waves of invasion. We offered to share in peace, but the minds of man are mortal and bound beyond reason to choose death. And so we remain immortal nonetheless. It is the mind of man that makes him mortal.
No, sorry, that's enough.
Died.
So, presumably,
I'm doing more stuff.
all of us started.
Last night was 49 days after he died. By the Buddhist way of seeing it. He's left this world completely. Every moment I recreate my past. From what I have learned of the world, I'm learning to redress the error in my thinking backwards. The body is a reflection of the mind. The body is a placeholder in mind memory. The error is based in belief in the body. The body is a red herring, fishy idle wish. The soul is the aggregate, accumulation of information accrued through experience and manifestation. The body of 3D form is a placeholder, a view
So roughly we've
of the mind
heard
being,
Christ, Jesus talking
part
about
equals in a field.
God.
The world is the result of an idea. The idea contains a primary error. The experience produces terror. The error results in terror. The error results in death. Life is lived in fear of lack of love. The error lies in beliefs about the body.
So what this book is
The
saying,
body is a placeholder, believed to be a prison. False beliefs have been hardwired within the human mind. The primary result is death. The afterlife experience of the soul is a process of releasing life's dream. To release life's dream without dying is eternal life. The insight represented by the idea of Christ. There are only two choices in life's dream: to live in love, or to suffer life to fear. Even so, the odds against life continue to exist in the dream. There are two advisors in the human mind: ever-present love, past-based fear of the future. Past is association with outer perception of objects, items, and forms of idea. Empty objects make most noise. Empty vessels fill the void. The outer perception is all projection. It is a dream being lived in the mind. We have all seen too much suffering. We have all learned to fear pain. We have all learned to listen to fear.
not inside the body.
We have all learned to live in fear. Yet in stillness, love is always whole.
All the things the ego tried to do to his body.
This fella then by the potion gave me this little thing. Broke down.
So as his body is hanging up there,
I allow my divine inner self to guide me to my true path and to exclude all intruding thoughts. I allow my divine inner self to protect me from intrusions and my inner world is real. It's how I feel. My soul is surreal. Wheels spinning in stillness, ethereal, immaterial.
So once established through his life and that crucifixion and resurrection type thing, is that from the point of view of the Christ, it's not difficult to whatsoever to reanimate.
Dark night is absence of daylight, keeps the outer to sight. Dreams, revolving day and night,
to a person who's realized
harmony of the heavenly spheres, guides the tides, the rise and fall of bodies buoyant in flight. I look for love, seeing is perceiving, the eye of the bead,
I was going to mention
wisdom
to
of
you earlier,
Sophia,
we've only got
star soul light shining true,
to the Holy Spirit
moments untouched by
through
time,
all the miracles
agility of thought in
to the
action,
gates of heaven.
poetry,
With the new Google Pixel 7 Pro.
The Holy Spirit is interceding for you. You
life lives, or
have
gives.
to be there.
There is no
And the last
time
little bit, God
like the
carries you
present.
across the gap.
Accept joy in the giving.
The
All
last
of
little
life
bit
is for living.
of transcendence, it's God who carries you across.
Imagine how living life can be
There's the Holy Spirit
with
interceding
mind
for you
attuned
right
to
there.
heart frequency.
The closest part
What
of
I
the
look
gap
for
that you had
is
when
what I
you
see.
lost on the other side of it.
Remember, always look for unity.
Yeah, you just
Whole
God
love
doesn't manifest and
feels
pick you up and carry you over.
as far eyes can see
Last little bit
the
of
impossibility of humanity's idea of justice. All of love has no opposite. Yet seeing is believing. The world is deceiving. The script is twisted, turned in on the pages. I ended up on a cross. Forces bring me apart. The four directions, centrifugal forces.
Yeah, it really was you out of the back of the reflection.
Deception and reflection, mirror perception, mirage and the image only seems to be. Scale limitation, looking back at me. By analogy, reflection, this foolishness,
Which would have been so evident 1,000 years ago. As a concept, there's only one mind, there's not loads of separate minds inside of separate bodies. There's one mind, and inside that mind is projected the idea that there could be separate bodies. And that each of those separate bodies was like a separate perspective.
In a describable oneness, suspend in its
Taking one suspend just loads of separate bits and loads of separate bits.
the answer made time would be accepted. Time is vanishing out in question.
But we're just looking at separateness. This one time as a reprise mostly what we do in order to
The
create the
answer
whole
is present.
ability to end up with an Apple Mac that you can figure out so much stuff that you have an internet and all the rest and realise.
Rising tide of revelation.
Yeah, oneness is what we really need to figure out, guys.
Soul starlight.
But that's only lately that we're really starting to realise, well, we better figure out global oneness and universal oneness really fast or we'll have blown ourselves to
I
sleep.
made myself. The
So,
age of my
there's only one mind.
naively born, beautiful, in no sense.
Apart from that, what we're living in is a divisive ego, and there's only one ego.
My first breath.
That ego runs the operating system
My eyes opened. And I
that
saw
believes there's a body. And that ego system
of my
believes
body,
it must
and I cried.
defend
Instinctively,
the
I
body to keep
asked,
the whole world
and
alive
by the sea.
because of its life, its
From
existence
conception
depends
to
on
first breath, I dreamed of my life into
us
being.
living in this world so that
My sole imagination of the incarnation. I am creations of soul emanations, incubations, dreamed into being, holographic fractals of intention.
is a bit. So what this means is that, like, the bright side of it means all the stuff that you take seriously about yourself, all the guilt, all the fear, all of that stuff is just jacket.
Destined
All of it.
relationships, anchored to earth, starfish,
The only thing you're left
in
with
a
then is
sea of soul, swimming
the
in
only thing you're left with then is what you do.
air ignites intelligent interaction.
Learn to construct the belief that
Water breaks, bubble bursts, bird chart set, and the first breath is drawn.
giving of what's
The body grows in a core
never
dance.
bothering to pander what's false. Ever.
This
So
mortal
the question is the body's inside your soul.
twists, turns, snakes slithering into states of
However,
in no sense,
have that
sensory
belief
perception,
constructed relations
forming
with one
persona,
not having to rip anyone else off.
experience, expression, breathing, environment,
Be real with your existence like that.
interactive osmosis informing
Bob Dylan.
the world.
Guys.
Carbon copies of spliced genes and DNA. Bodies beget bodies. Serial progression.
Play a large
Mummy's
role in
eyes,
this
daddy's mouth,
concept of
smile.
how one
Every body is a story to tell. Subliminal meta-narratives.
but that's where we all are, so I guess that's where
The web
it's
of life is woven in the womb.
There's only
A hypertext threads the tapestry of time. A stitch in time saves 9 from unraveling. No one has a separate story. Everyone is a stitch in a thread in the tapestry. Each one is a life lived in the eye of the need, the eye of the need all, the all-sowing eye of the need. The great work of ages interweaving the signs, spinning yarns into threads of stories. Threads of our lives are all stitched up. Tales tied to sails, blown by winds of change, interweaving designs, fruits, relationships, lost at sea, and humanity's stormy story. All in the stars of heaven, lost at sea. We learned to breathe air and to stand on 2 legs, like birds with no wings.
Can a drop of rain deceive the sea?
Then apparently about 12 hours after
Can a body see the mind?
the arch of humanity died.
Can the dead see?
presumably
Time to read more stuff.
all of us that are down.
Last night was 49 days after he
Our
died.
ancestors.
The Buddhist way of seeing it.
Inscribed
He's left this world completely.
our immortality.
Every moment I recreate my past.
Our sacred spaces.
From what I have learned in the world,
Eternity.
I am learning to redress the earth in my thinking backwards.
And being.
The body is a reflection of the mind. The body is a placeholder in mind memory. The error is based in belief in the body. body is a red herring, fishy idle fish. The soul is the aggregate, accumulation of information accrued through experience and manifestation. The body of 3D form is a placeholder, a viewpoint of the mind of beings, heart, peoples, and feelings. The world is the result of an idea. The idea contains a primary error. The experience produces terror. The error results in terror. The error results in death. Life is lived in fear of lack of love. The error lies in beliefs about the body.
So what this book is saying,
The body is a placeholder, believed to be a prison. Thoughts, beliefs have been hardwired within the human mind. The primary result is death. The afterlife experience of the soul is a process of releasing life's dream. To release life's dream without dying is eternal life. The insight represented by the idea of Christ. There are only two choices in life's dream: to live in love or to suffer life through fear. Even so, the odds against life continue to exist in the dream. There are two advisors in the human mind: ever-present love, past, based fear of the future. Past is association with outer perception of objects, items, and forms of ideas. Empty objects make most noise. Empty vessels fill the void. The outer perception is all projection. It is a dream being lived in the mind. We have all seen too much suffering. We have all learned to fear the pain. We've all learned to listen to fear.
not inside the body.
We've all learned to live in fear. Yet in stillness, love is always
All the things the ego tried to do to his body to make the Son of God
and the sky then by potion gives the thing
working
down.
so as his body is hanging up there
I allow my divine inner self to guide me to my true path and to exclude all intruding thoughts. I allow my divine inner self to exclude my truth and my inner world is real. It's how I feel. My soul is surreal. Wheels spinning in stillness. Ethereal, immaterial.
So what was established through his life and that crucifixion and resurrection type thing is that from the point of view of the Christ is
Realization
whatsoever reanimating.
Dark night is absence of daylight, keeps the outer to sight. Dreams, revolving day and night,
To a person who's realized
harmony of the heavenly spheres, guides the tides, the rise and fall of bodies buoyant in flight. I look for love, seeing is perceiving, the eye of the bee,
I was going to mention
wisdom
to
of
you earlier
Sophia.
that we've only got
Star, soul, light shining
they're
true,
witness to the Holy Spirit
moments untouched by
do
time.
all the miracles
Agility of
that
thought
take
in
place to the
action,
gates of heaven.
poetry in motion,
But the important
and
being,
baby steps,
being is that
one
by the
at
time
a
you get to
time.
the gates of heaven, you're in
Love
revelation.
is,
And in a state of revelation, the
Time
Holy Spirit
passes.
is even interceding for you. You
life lives, or gives.
practically there.
There is no
And the last
time
of it, God
like the
carries you
present.
across the gap.
except joy in the giving.
The
All
last
of
bit is
life
this.
is for
Of
living.
transcendence, it's God who carries you across.
Imagine how loving life
Your
can
own
be
is the Holy Spirit
with
interceding
mind
for you
attuned
right
and
there.
heart frequency.
The closest part
What
of
I
the
look
gap
for
you had
is
been
what I
completely
see.
lost on the other side of.
Remember, always look for unity.
Yeah, you just
Whole
God doesn't
love
manifest and
feels
pick you up and carry you
as
over.
far eyes can see
The last little bit
the
you go,
impossibility of humanity's idea of duality. Whole love has no opposite,
like that mushroom trip.
yet seeing is believing. The world is deceiving. The script is twisted, turned in on the I ended up on a cross, forces pulling me apart. In 4 directions, centrifugal forces of destruction
really walking out of
attaining
duality
toward
back into unity.
perfection. Perception and reflection of the mirror perception, the mirage and the image only seems to be a pale imitation looking back at me. By analogy, I can be food in reflection. This foolishness,
which wouldn't have been so evident 1,000 years ago, but now with the laws in the modern age are so stupid.
mirage, polar mirrors,
Laws of this world are
finite
totally
algorithms, analogies, feedback loops, crash computer systems, runaway figures of astronomical
but the law of
imaginary
God is
numbers.
only
The void burst into existence.
is everywhere. Extends itself
Finite
within
light
itself.
interposed in the sea of souls. Stellar stadiums swirling round black holes, a series of images blinking in and out of being. Within the mind's eye, imagine seeing in all the vast division of time and in space, the rainbow jewel of the human race, 8 billion Earth bodies in this planet place, traveling through time without a trace. A bunch of balls all bopping about, outer space has no north or south. Chaos theory, butterflies' wings, mortal mind of men imagining imaginary things. Lost souls wondering why. We try so hard, yet still we die. Bound by birth, existence, earth, heaven to ground. What life is worth? Descended deep within the dark. Death returns delusion to dearth. The devilish thought, duality. What is born out of love will appear to die. Sleepwalking, daydream. I was born in a bubble, born to live a life of trouble, blamed for the sin of my doppelganger's double. In no sense buried under Stone Age rubble, incarnation of my soul brother's plight, a heap of stones on a Stone Age site, mark of my passing in a ceremonial rite. The story was told of how I died in a fight, from waves of invasions and various other degradations, aggravations and misinterpretations. Stone Age incarnation, mapped heaven on earth. Soul salvation, starseed vision, come to birth, quantum new age civilization. Our time long past, our languages all but lost, our script described our vibe, knowledge of Jacob's ladder, it is written in stone. Writ 10. We were once immortal soul, born complete, star-conscious whole, as close to the mother as mare to foal. Ethereal souls of etheric agility, with no bodies as such and yet possessed of incredibly focused ability. Connection to source was our reason. To break from source would be treason, but each stage has its season. R.I.P. Rip the crypt wide open. Others came from somewhere else. Orcs came marauding, slaughtering elves, hating our beauty, hating themselves. 9 waves of invasion, 9 levels of hell, 3 times 9 wise stories to tell. Whispering wisdom, too soft to yell. Sacred Sophia, too sacred to sell. Blessings, enchantment, I'm ringing this fairy bell, ancient fairy dell, long song of enchantment to end death spells. Love is the answer to all questions, else the question is in error. The wheel of samsara, a myth whose age is now ended. Salvation of soul ascended, revelation of death transcended. This is the logic of salvation. Release fear, feel love. Choose love, transform fear. Always ask. The only task is giving. Life is always for giving. Temptation to see what's outside me. Splintered reflections of humanity, split personality from divinity. The universe is a song, being sung, the harmony of spheres, soul stars singing. The song soul stars sing is love. Soon all other sound will cease. The ear will hear no more of fear. One by one, each soul awake ends. An inner voice calls. No more noise, in stillness resides, holding space, time. I will listen within Sophia's love. There is no time within the present gift. To fear the future is foolish. There is no
A bit longer. I know the first thing that comes to my head is not yet. It's not yet. A bit longer. A bit longer.
Even when you're in a timeless state, you're still subject to time.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
But is there a time outside time?
That's right. Yes.
Is there a time outside time?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
But is there a time outside time? For example, in space. Toby is an astronaut on the International Space Station.
Analogies. Feedback loops crash the computer systems.
Analogies. Feedback loops crash the computer systems. Analogies. Feedback loops crash the computer systems.
Analogies. Feedback loops crash the computer systems.